We're going to be walking through today, guys, online marketing for motivated sellers. The big things that we're going to be doing, like I said, is part 1, part 2, part 3. This is part 1. And in part 1, we're going to be talking specifically on online marketing for real estate and the marketing mindset. So I'm going to break down what we're going to be talking about in this series, or in this session specifically. The first thing is how the real estate industry is evolving and what it means to you as an investor or an agent. Number 2 are the different types of marketing and the highest leverage and highest conversion rate types of marketing today. Number 3 is evergreen marketing, or inbound, you might have heard it that way, versus outbound marketing, or the traditional ways most investors are currently marketing. The last part on here for today is what we call the 2-6-1 formula for success with online marketing and really adopting that winning marketing mindset. We're going to be diving into, first of all, how the industry is shifting. You guys and gals have probably noticed this shift that's been going on in the industry the last several years. We've been talking about it for a number of years, where you have the retail side of the industry and you have the wholesale side of the industry, where many of you are on. And the retail side has been known for decades, right? It's your real estate agents, it's the listing it on the MLS. The wholesale side is what you're likely doing. You're going out there and finding highly motivated sellers, and you're connecting those properties or contracts with the buyer. And then you have the iBuyers who have came in the market the last number of years. Now, the iBuyers are accelerating a phenomenon that was already starting. Okay, the iBuyers are coming in with a technical solution, well-funded, and they're saying, hey, we're going to offer up to the seller basically what wholesalers or flippers have been doing for decades, but with a higher polish wrap around it. And so you're seeing the wholesale side and the retail side of the industry start to squeeze together over the next 5 to 10 years. Now, what does that mean for you as an investor, or if you're an agent as well, or what we call a hybrid? Okay, when you do both agent and investor. What it means for you is there's a lot more competition in the market right now that's well funded, but also it's a good thing, I feel, that iBuyers are in the market, because they're making direct home selling more mainstream. That means more people are going to be asking for, they're going to be asking their real estate agent, hey, can I get a cash offer? Because these iBuyers are making it mainstream and normal. So it's going to actually create more opportunity for you as an investor, because more people are going to be open to selling their property directly. But it also creates more competition. So how do we now stand out? The big thing that we need to focus on as a real estate investor or an agent is the key is finding the most motivated house sellers. Buyers are easy to find. Zillow makes it easy, very easy for a retail buyer to go look at properties, and Zillow owns buyers online. But who owns the sellers online? In general, our clients at Carrot own the sellers online, and we want you to do the same in your market. So the key is those who attract and fully serve the motivated sellers will win. Let's kind of walk through the different marketing methodologies right now that you could be looking at as a real estate investor in my momentum and freedom growth formula. Okay, so on the left side of this graphic, we have leverage. Leverage is basically if I do an activity, how broad can that activity impact with a little bit of work, right? And then you've got conversion on the bottom side of it. How high does this marketing method convert a prospect into a client? On the bottom right side, we have high conversion, low leverage. That's one-on-one selling, that's door knocking, open houses, things like that. Okay, it's very high conversion because you get in front of that prospect one-to-one and you can really connect with them, and it converts really, really well. But you can't do that all the time, because eventually you're going to run out of time. And so you're going to run out of energy, time, and you're not going to be able to scale it up to really do the amount of deals and get the freedom that you're looking to do. But it does work, especially in the early days as an investor if you're looking to get going, or if you can scale up a team to do that for you. The next thing, which is high leverage, low conversion marketing, is email marketing, social media marketing, radio, TV, things like that. Okay, if you do a radio ad or TV ad, which they work really, really well in many, many markets, you're going to be able to put one message out to lots and lots and lots of people at one time. It's high leverage. But the problem with it is it's oftentimes a shotgun approach, where you're putting something out there, whether it's a social media post or a radio ad or a TV ad. You're going to be really casting a really, really wide net, touching a lot of people who are not motivated, who don't want the service, and then they're going to be calling. And so you have to be willing and able to collect a lot of leads and sift through those leads to close a deal. But it works amazingly well, okay? But you just have to recognize what type of business you want to generate. So then you have low conversion, low leverage marketing. Okay, that's cold calling, that's text message marketing, which in many markets right now is starting to go away because the laws and the things that are happening with SMS and text message marketing. But cold calling works really well. And that's where a lot of real estate investors are trained to start, is to buy the list, pick up the phone and start to call, and then you hire the VAs and bring them in to do the same thing. It works amazingly well. But the problem is you have to call a lot of people who are unmotivated, who don't want to sell their house. get lots of yelling on the other end of some of those phone calls, and sift through 40, 60, 70, 80 leads until you really close a deal. So once again, all of these marketing methods work. The question is, what type of business and business model do you want to have? Now, up in the upper right is high leverage, high conversion marketing, and that's online evergreen marketing. That's when you put up really, really high quality content on the internet. It attracts the most motivated prospects through the internet, and then 24/7, your content on your website, or what we call an authority hub, then really starts to build trust and educate them to want to work with you. We're going to be focusing this series on online evergreen content. The other marketing methods are all valid. We love them all, but you have to recognize each marketing method comes with a different type of business model. If you're going to be growing based off of direct mail or radio or TV or cold calling, you have to have a staff of people who are collecting and sifting through those calls to find the diamonds in the rough in those leads. You can run an amazing business on higher margins, much lower staff, much more predictably with evergreen marketing as the foundation. Okay, so let's talk about quality and quantity with your lead flow. So radio and TV, like I said, it's about 1 in 40 to 1 in 60 leads into a deal. Cold calling is about 1 in 40 to 1 in 60 leads into a deal. Direct mail, 1 in 30 to 1 in 40 leads turn into a deal. Facebook ads is somewhere around 1 in 20 to 1 in 40 leads into a deal, because people are flipping through their phones and they're getting distracted by your ad in between looking at pictures of their friend's dog or whatever it is, right? So they're lower quality, lower intent, but Facebook does work really, really well. And then you have Google PPC and SEO, someone going to Google, searching for something to solve a problem. That converts 1 in 10 to 1 in 15 leads into a deal. So once again, higher quality leads, higher conversion rate. And also, we found in our surveys and our data that on average, not only is it about 7 times higher lead to deal conversion ratio than some other marketing, but also it's higher profit. So in this survey that we had ran just recently to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of our clients, we found that the average deal value, so the average profit per deal on the evergreen marketing versus other marketing, offline marketing, was $23,000 versus $9,000. So you have more motivated prospects who you can build better trust with, who are able and willing to sell their property for less because they're more motivated. The average value per lead is $1,800, and then with the others is about $102. So when we look at our marketing and the type of business that we want to run, we have to look at what are the numbers on the back end, not just how many leads we get. Okay, that's where a lot of real estate investors go wrong, I think, is they look at the volume of leads that they get versus what is my cost per deal, versus not just the cost per deal for marketing, but what is my staff cost that I have to house, that I have to invest into that staff in order to support that marketing method. The staff cost with SEO or PPC is far lower than the staff cost with direct mail, radio, TV, cold calling. Okay, but they all work. Just recognize what type of business you want to build. So as we're talking about evergreen marketing in this series, I want to kind of lay out what the heck evergreen marketing is and what it looks like. And we're going to talk about the nuances of evergreen marketing here in a second. But if we were to look at this graphic here on my screen, the yellow graphic there is kind of the traditional outbound marketing journey for many real estate investors. It starts off hot. You drop that direct mail piece. It starts to get some good prospects coming in. But then the outbound marketing or hamster wheel marketing starts to then wane, the results wane down, then you've got to do it again, right? That's why we call it hamster wheel marketing. You can never get off the hamster wheel if you want the result to continue to go. If you're doing cold calling, you have to call, or have someone do it. As the second you step off that hamster wheel and stop calling is the second your results start to go down. And then it yanks you back into your business or yanks your team back into that business. And it makes it really hard to have that consistency and predictability unless you build a big team and or absolutely love hopping on phone calls. So on the green one, we now see the evergreen marketing. And the evergreen marketing side of things is a little bit slower going at the start, right? It takes some time to build up momentum. But just like working out or a fitness journey, in order to get to an amazingly healthy place in your life on fitness or health or to build a new skill set, things start off really slow. Right? They start off really slow. You wouldn't go to an infomercial likely and buy a pill thinking that the pill is going to solve all of your problems immediately and you're going to magically be in shape or magically healthy. You know that you've got to eat healthy, you've got to move, you've got to work out, and it's going to be a journey. But 2 weeks in, 4 weeks in, 6 weeks in, 6 months in, you're going to be a different person. And you're going to look back and go, man, I'm so glad I made that shift. I'm so glad I made that adjustment in my life and I've built this amazing momentum. This is the exact same way. You're going to invest into your business and into creating this content and getting the things online early. You're not going to see a lot of results in the early days. You're actually going to see a lot of work in the early days, and then your results are going to start to magnify. And that's where we start to see momentum. It's right around that 9-month mark, 8-month mark, depending on your market. Some people even 6 months in, we're seeing momentum with those evergreen leads, or the best sellers or buyers are coming to you asking to do business with you instead of you having to touch them on the shoulder with a marketing piece. So we have something we call the 261 formula. I'm going to briefly go through the 261 formula here, and then we're going to talk about it much more in the next sessions that we have in this 3-part series. So the 261 formula is kind of more of a mindset shift. When we start to think about marketing and online marketing, we have to think about it differently than we do most other types of marketing. Like we said before, with outbound marketing, if you're going to do radio, TV, direct mail, you put all the work into preparing that piece of marketing, creating the ad, creating the direct mail, buying the list, but then you send it out and it's decently immediate. You start to get phone calls pretty darn quickly, right? But then, like I said, you have to do it over and over and over and over again. And the thing with outbound marketing is it always has an ebb and a flow. So if you're focusing on outbound marketing as the focus of your business and the driver of your business, in the dynamics of your market, if a lot of people start using direct mail because they heard that it works well in a course or something, then all of a sudden your effectiveness of direct mail in that market goes down because everybody's getting direct mail in that market and a lot of the same people are getting the same marketing pieces. So your effectiveness goes down, you have to spend more money and send out more pieces to close the same deal. So then people shift over to the next marketing method, which might be cold calling, right? At the early days, cold calling, people go, man, this is working so good in my market. Now no one's cold calling. And then all of a sudden, a year, 18 months, 2 years later, everybody in your market's cold calling, and then the effectiveness of cold calling starts to go down. People stop answering phones. What comes next? Text message marketing came next. And then everyone starts text message marketing. People start to go, okay, I'm text message marketing now. It's working, no one's doing it. And then the effectiveness goes down because everyone's doing it. Guys, you guys see the story here. With outbound marketing, it ebbs and flows, and it changes about every 12 to 24 months because the market gets saturated with that same type of marketing, and then everyone has to shift and find a new one. With the beauty with online marketing, with evergreen marketing, is more and more people are searching Google every single month. More people are taking out their cell phones, are going to their computers and typing up questions to solve problems in their life or in their business. It's not going to go down anytime soon. The older generations are adopting online research even more today, y'all. So this is not just the future, it's the now. And I want you to really focus on investing into something that's growing, that you will not have to shift and change away from in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, but it will take an investment in today. So the 261 formula is this. The first 2 months is going to take a good bit of work to get that evergreen marketing cranking. You got to get your authority hub set up. We'll talk about that in part 2. You've got to get some of that initial content online, build that credibility, which we'll show you guys how to do in part 2. And then about 6 months in, you're going to start to see that first little glimmer of a result, depending on the market. We've seen this happen way quicker for some people and a little bit longer for others. But that might be getting your first leads through this marketing method in 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And that's where a lot of people get discouraged, is in month 3, month 4, because you're going, man, I'm putting all this work in, but I'm not getting the result out. So about month 6 is when you can tone your work back a little bit, and you're starting to get momentum. And then around that 1 year mark is where momentum has really started to pick up. And then you're gonna be looking back at the end of that year going, man, I'm so glad I took this leap of faith and I made this marketing shift. Okay, year 2 is amazing. Year 3 is amazing. We have so many of our clients that are 2, 3, 4 years in and have full freedom from and in their businesses because they made this shift. The cool thing that I mentioned as well is while your results actually gain momentum over time, because that's the way that it works with online marketing and Google, it's evergreen marketing. You do something one time, you put a piece of content up one time, you put a page up one time, and it works and it's online for years. The more you put up online, and we'll walk you through this in part 2, the more momentum you get. But also the less work you have to do. So momentum picks up, your ROI goes up, and your work goes down, which happens with almost no other marketing method out there. I want to walk through a story of a guy named Brian Rockwell. So Brian was a school teacher for 13 years. He had aspirations and dreams for becoming a real estate investor like you did or do right now. He started to dive in and research it, and after years and years and years, he said, I'm finally going to take this leap. It was actually his wife who had stepped out and taken a leap for herself and started her own small business, and she was using the internet actually to generate her leads. And he said, well, shoot, what if I could just do that? Because he didn't want to do the traditional marketing methods that were taught so many times, like picking up the phone and doing cold calling or doing direct mail. And so he said, I'm going to start real estate investing. He launched a website the way that we're going to teach you in the second part of the series. And he also started just driving for dollars. Between work and home, he would drive a different neighborhood each time. He'd get back home, he'd write letters on any house that looked like it was run down. And he actually closed his first deal just by hustling and driving for dollars. Okay, it was about an $8,000 profit. And then he took those profits and said, I never want to do that again. I just want to find a way to scale my leads online and really grow it in an evergreen way. Okay, and so like Brian said here, in that first year, he'd close, in the first several months actually, he closed 6 wholesale deals, $124,000 in that first number of months. That wasn't even the first year. He closed over $600,000 in wholesale deals in a crazy, crazy competitive market where tons of investors were already there before him. So he started to implement this model that we're talking about. Okay, he was researching real estate for years, and then he closed his first deal, like I said. That first deal was from driving for dollars, and now he had some cash that he could reinvest to get more high leverage in his marketing. He used a very low leverage marketing activity, but a high conversion marketing activity in driving for dollars. And he said, I'm going to swap that for a very high leverage and high conversion marketing activity, which is online. Okay, he started going all in on online. He started diving into training that we have on the advanced side. This is 101, getting into 201 here in this masterclass. And then he started a Google pay-per-click campaign. So that's the way that you can then start to get leads coming in more quickly, is by starting a paid ad campaign while your SEO or your evergreen marketing results are cranking. Okay, then this is what happened. Around March of that next year, so about 4 to 5 months in, he had already done 3 wholesale deals at that time with paid marketing, with paid ad marketing, while his SEO was building. It was over $7,300, so he took most of that $8,000, and over time, he had put it into Google Ads, and over time it returned him $73,000 to then help him continue to invest into his marketing. So it worked. And the cool thing is, when you do Google Ads, it's getting in front of the exact people that are doing those Google searches that the people below the ads don't have to pay to get in front of at all. The SEO side, search engine optimization, is ranking high in Google in the organic search results. Pay-per-click, or PPC, is paying to get at the top of those results quickly. Okay, but when you can rank high at the top of Google organically, once you're there, you don't have to pay for those clicks. You don't have to pay for those leads. That's why your ROI goes up and your work goes down. He continued refining his systems, and he ended that first 6 months with over $378,000 in wholesale fees. Profit per deal was $13,000 in his market. That was high. It's even higher in his market now. And the cost per deal is just over $2,000. I want you guys and gals to make the same decision, to make the same shift, to win back your time. This all started with taking a leap and investing in and going all in on online marketing the way that we're going to be teaching you in this masterclass. His rankings started to rise in Google. He started to get more consistent results, and then those results have stayed strong for years and years and years. It's either you put in the work today, over the next 6 months to a year, and work your butt off for the next 6 months to a year to build up this momentum, or you work your butt off for the next 10 to 20 years doing hamster wheel marketing where you're always going to be on it. So many people will be tempted to get back on that hamster wheel in month 3 and month 4 and month 5 and month 6, because you might be getting discouraged, because you go, man, I've been doing this SEO stuff, I've been doing the content, I've been doing what you're telling, Trevor, but I haven't got the momentum yet. You will be tempted in 3, 4, 5, and 6, and that's where most people will give up and quit. But that's exactly when guys like Brian just step into it further and have the belief that it will work out when you implement the plan in your market, and then you'll start to win deals and win momentum. In this section, we covered a few different things, okay? We covered online marketing for real estate and the marketing mindset that we need to have to grow into that long-term evergreen mindset, okay? How the industry is evolving. Guys, the industry is coming together. Wholesale, retail, it's coming together. Those of you who have both an agent license and are an investor are going to be winning more and more than the people who are just an agent or just an investor. The different types of marketing and the highest leverage, highest conversion marketing that you can focus on for sellers today. Evergreen marketing versus inbound, that distinction is critical. You build your foundation of your business off of evergreen, and then you start to then add outbound to scale and grow. And then the 261 formula. For this section, I've got one action plan for you before you move on to section 2. I want you to really get clear on the type of business that you want to run. Do you want to have freedom from your business? Do you want to have flexibility? Do you want to make an impact? What do you want that business to do? Because we have to make a clear decision on what type of marketing we want to do, because our marketing will dictate our lifestyle and our business. It's either we do marketing that attracts a lot of leads that we have to sift through and hire staff to do so, or we focus on marketing that brings in fewer leads but higher quality, higher motivated leads that bring in a higher profit. You can do the same amount or more profits with far less work and stress. So what is the business and life that you want? Number 2, dive into part 2 of this series, then to start to build out this strategy with the website and Authority Hub, and then we'll move in on part 3 on the search engine optimization side of it. Hope you enjoyed session 1 of the Online Marketing for Motivated Sellers. My name is Trevor Mauch. I'm the CEO of Carrot. We work with thousands and thousands of the top real estate investors and agents in the country to help you win more leads and deals by getting off the marketing hamster wheel and stepping into evergreen marketing and winning your life and business back.